commanding officer at Way Station Romeo. They began reacting to bright lights, retreating to the dark corners. They were my friends and colleagues not so long ago.
I'm Steve Papoutsis, the executive producer on Dead Space 3.
Cool. So you're showing off some new stuff here today at the showcase. What are people seeing here?
Well, today we were showing off our co-op, and specifically we're showing how our co-op is additive to the story. So when the second player joins in, you get to see additional details around John Carver, and you actually get to see a little bit of Dementia.
Jesus, coffins everywhere.
So this John Carver character, what can you tell us about him?
Well, John Carver is a soldier, but he's much more than just a soldier. He's got his own unique backstory in the Dead Space universe. He's had some troubles, specifically with his family, and you're going to find out about that as you play through Dead Space 3, but you can also find out about that in our graphic novel.
Yeah. Fuck this planet.
So John is he's kind of different to Isaac in that he's more of a military man. Does that affect any way the way the characters play?
Well, I think it mostly impacts his personality. Isaac's an engineer. Carver was in the military. I mean, that's kind of where that's at. But, Carver's personality is different based on his life experiences prior to this adventure, and the same goes for Isaac.
Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, shit. Back up. Get out of the way.
So the co-op element of it, when you're playing through single player, there'll be doors that you can't access when you're playing single player that you can access when you're playing co-op. Can you run us through how that works?
Sure. So there's always going to be alternate missions, whether you're playing in single player or in co-op. The way that we've created our co-op, though, as I've described, is that we wanted it to be additive to the experience. So it wasn't just another character that drops in and now a door unlocks. That's not how it works. It's actually much more than that. What it is you're learning about John Carver, his details, his backstory, and the specific missions that you get because John Carver's in the game with you are centered around his personal story. So what you saw today, again, you saw Carver going through a fit of dementia. That's the way it works for Carver. Now, if you're in single player, there's still optional missions that you don't have to do in single player. It's a lot less linear this time around.
Looks like some kind of a funeral. Execution. Bloodstains on the wall ahead, height. That's no good.
So the dementia that you mentioned, can you give us a kind of example of how that manifests?
Well, as you saw in the demo today, Carver passed by this door that you saw once in single player that was locked. When Carver was in the game, he saw something that Isaac couldn't see. What he saw was a toy soldier. This has relevance back to his personal story. I don't want to get into the details of that because I don't want to give any spoilers, but he saw this toy soldier, which triggered a memory for him, which then allowed the players to access an area of the game. They went into this dungeon-like environment, and he then had a dementia moment where Isaac didn't really understand what was going on with Carver. Carver was, in one sequence, kind of had his hands on his head, didn't know what was going on. Isaac had to protect him, but on player 2's screen, the person playing Carver, he was actually in kind of a dementia world, having an interesting interaction. So that's an example of one of them.
They're here.
Does that mean that the game will be significantly more kind of spooky or scary for people who are playing as Carver because of these visions?
Well, I think it'll be different. That's the idea, is that, what we really wanted to have the experience be like is, hey, you and I are playing co-op together, I'm playing Isaac. You start talking about something that I'm not seeing. It's like, what's happening? And just, have it be different so it doesn't feel like you're just experiencing the same thing. We wanted the characters to have unique personalities. We wanted the experience to feel different and unique. So I think in those instances, you're seeing a little bit more of the psychological part of the Dead Space series, which has been in all of the games.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that Isaac used to suffer from these kind of visions in the previous games, but now it seems like he's the sane one. Has Isaac completely stopped having the kind of visions that he was having in the first two games?
We're going to leave that up for people to discover on their own when they play the game.
Get a weapon for everyone.
Also seen the Scavenger bot today. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I'm really excited about our weapon crafting system and the Scavenger bot in particular. We wanted to make sure that our resource system that we now have in the game was super accessible, but we also wanted to make sure that players that didn't want to deal with collecting a bunch of stuff, had options. So rather than using credits in this game, you have resources. So when you defeat necromorphs, you pick up resources. You've got different things, somatic gel, tungsten, just to name a few. What we did is we added this bot, which the player can equip. You get a number of them throughout the game, and you can look around for little deposits of resources. And if you deploy the bot, you have a higher degree of chance of getting something rare to work towards your system of crafting. So your crafting system can make you health packs, it can make you stasis packs, it can make you weapon parts. And you can use those throughout the game to enhance your arsenal or improve your rig. And the scavenger bot, you drop him down, you kind of go about your business, and next time you go to the bench, he'll pull up and drop off all of the resources that you discovered. And so it's kind of a fun way to take the choring out of collecting the resources.
Great. And are these the kind of things you can share with your co-op partner?
Yeah, you can share resources, and you can actually craft things and share those with your friends too.
It's happening again.